Hey, what up, though? Good morning to the viewers. Just checking in. It's your boy Prophecy here. We're gonna go with the WR podcast here, episode 1. Very excited to bring that to you this morning or this early afternoon here for your listening pleasure. I'm also gonna have some highlights running during the podcast simulcast, so enjoy that. Special guest is Shaken Baker from Witness the Grind and the WR Pro Am League. A very exciting day around the 2K community, obviously. Comp season tips off here, so what up, though, to Tone Corleone? Appreciate you checking in. Enjoy the last little 5 minutes. We're just going to enjoy some coffee here and get ready to listen to this stream, so please feel free to provide your comments on the dialogue and interact with what you're hearing. I'll be monitoring and checking out the chat, engaging with everybody. Hope you enjoy the presentation of the audio podcast and put together a little highlight reel showcasing a recent game from Witness the Grind, which was the special guests team. So you can watch that as well. And crystal clear, very smooth as well. So shout out to Shaken Baker. He was an excellent guest as well. So I do appreciate his time. We recorded this the other day. I've been working on this simulcast to be able to bring this to you on a nice and polished presentation. So we're going to do this moving forward to debut the podcast episodes, whether it's the WR Pod or SL2K Podcast. So we're going to get it going here in just a few minutes. I just wanted to say good morning to y'all. What up, though, to Tone Corleone? Appreciate everybody supporting the Twitch stream. We've got great support. You can check out the information on the upper left-hand portion of your screen. Of course, WR season tips off. Appreciate you, Dead Now. What up, though? Thank you for joining the chat room. Season tips off tonight, 7 p.m. You saw the tweet, WR Pro Am League. So make sure you tune into the streams around the community and check out some great comp action, the highest level competition 2K has to offer. It's going to be a really exciting night around the competitive scene here. So you can also check out information there at the website you see on the upper left there, WRLeague.com. And also follow on Twitch, WR Pro Am League, for the latest action. Hopefully we'll do some live streaming tonight, maybe get some commentary on some comp action here. So appreciate Tone and Dead Now. And good morning to everybody. Hope you're enjoying your mornings with your families, hopefully. And salute to all the veterans. Thank you so much for your service. We are forever indebted, of course, citizens of this great country, to your service. And we appreciate all of you on this great holiday. So let's enjoy some 2K talk and kick back and relax. I'm going to get off the mic here, and we'll let the countdown fade. Just tell me how you're feeling in the chat. We'll be engaging throughout the duration of the pod. Hope you enjoy it. We got some good content in the pod. A nice little discussion. You'll learn a little bit more about Shaken Baker, some of the players and names that you're going to want to look for, team-wise, player-wise, in the WR season that's going to be tipping off tonight. So this is a good pod to familiarize yourself if you're not too familiar to seeing what's going on around the WR Pro Am League. So I know you guys know the name, of course, WR. Everybody knows the name, but we're going to check out some of the insights from one of the great players and one of the great teams, Witness the Grind. So hopefully we'll see them playing tonight as well. Dead Now has a question, what time we might stream. Well, the league tips off at 7 p.m., so we'll look for a primetime possibility window there. Hopefully within that 8 p.m. to midnight range, we'll hopefully be online streaming, doing some commentary, providing some in-depth, immersive action around the WR League. Very exciting. All right, well, that's about all I have. Good morning again. Happy holiday to everybody out there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy the pod. I'll be in the chat hanging out with you guys as we listen to the debut episode of the WR pod. I was very honored and humbled to get asked to do this. So here it is, the first episode. We're going to be doing these a lot. You're going to be learning about all the players in the community, all the great teams, all the great names, all the great history, the legendary WR, the original Pro Am League. So make yourself known. Let's take a listen here as the last minute counts down. Enjoy the pod. Hey, and welcome to the WR Podcast, home of the original Pro-Am League. I'm your host, Prophecy. I'm going to be your host through this brand new podcast series. It's going to be available on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you can get your podcasts. It's going to be strictly WR content. You, of course, saw the announcement. You may know me from SL2K. You, of course, saw the announcement regarding our affiliation with WR. We're very proud of that, and I'm proud to be part of this broadcast team and doing some content for you guys and going to get you some familiarity with a lot of the players, a lot of the teammates around the WR community, a lot of the staff, administration. Everybody that's involved really is going to get an opportunity to get some shine time. You guys can tell your stories, your best anecdotes from the gameplay, and we'll really get you out there, get a chance to engage with the community. So this is a great platform to do that. Looking forward to having a lot of great guests, a lot of premier players from around the community. So really exciting time for WR. We got season 13 PS4 coming up. So that's a really exciting topic we'll be discussing later on. So we're going to have a lot of guests, like I said, players, admin, staff, otherwise, on this series. Teams we're going to be highlighting. We're going to be talking about different tournaments, all the different things that are going on around the WR community. And you can expect this on a weekly basis. It'll be your all access pass into the inner workings of one of the great comp communities. So again, very proud to have been asked to do this. I'm humbled, and I understand what a privilege that it is to be discussing 2K with some of the great guests that we're going to have, including my guest today, none other than Shake and Baker, the real SNB from Witness the Grind. What up, though, Shake and Bake? Thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So the first thing I wanted to get into you for the listeners that may not be familiar with your team, may not be familiar with you, is just to tell me a little bit about your comp experience. Of course, comp is a whole nother level of experience and gameplay on 2K. So tell me a little bit about how you broke into it, maybe some people that you networked with to break into the scene, and you're kind of take me back to the beginning when you came into it.
All right. So basically, me and my friends have been playing 2K for a long time. I met these guys on 2K14. Big Killer Kyle, for example, 15, 19, 19. And one of the guys that actually qualified for the 2K16 went to the finals was Brooklyn's Kingpin. I played with him quite a bit. We started off 2K18 by playing regular Pro-Am, thinking, oh, this is pretty fun. And then we saw that WR and NPBA and those leagues were coming out with some pretty fun stuff. And season 10 actually started, so we decided to join up. And I joined with those longtime friends, and we played on a team called Just a Tip, which I admit was not very good taste. It was not very good taste at that time. But so we started playing that. Yeah. And so one of our first games in that season 10 was actually against Throwdown. So we had been watching these guys for a while, you know. They went up against Dimes in the 2K17. Went to the All-Star game, I think. That's what they call it.
Okay.
That's what it was called. And
nice.
So we were pretty excited to play that, and we actually ended up winning even after it was a 4v5 starting in the third quarter. And
oh wow,
we came out with that win, and we were just like pretty excited and everything. And then after that season, my friends decided to step away for a little bit because it got to after the league, and you know, Pro-Am started dying down a little bit. And so I started looking for a team for myself because I got a taste of that content, and I just wanted to keep playing. So during that season 10, I played a team called Unsigned Hype, and Big Soul 5757 DM'd me and asked me if I wanted to come run with him. So I mean, of course, I took that offer up because they had been a top team in season 10. So I played on Unsigned Hype with Poppy Tev, Forrest Gump, obviously Big Swole, and Dr. JoJo, who was one of the assistants for Pacers Gaming this past season, actually. Right. And of course, we weren't a top team, but we went through and we had having some pretty good success here and there. Beat teams like Tunnel Vision and New Lane, which I admit was pretty crazy because New Lane had been going up against Breakout earlier that year, and they had been having some success and made the NPBA finals in January before the league had even started. So we got pretty excited, had that success, and actually through Big Swole, I met my current teammates on Witness the Grind, A Truth and Robar, who was then on coach. And then after that NPBA season, I think 6, that team split up, and so I was looking for another team to run with. And actually, Tina from Kiss My Tims and White Chocolate picked me up and gave me a chance. So, like, that was huge because I've been a big fan of them for a while, like, before I even looked into the comp scene, because Chalk has such a big following and has quite a few followers on Twitter. So I've been following them for a while. And when I saw what they needed, I was in their DMs asking for a chance because I wasn't really known yet. So they gave me a chance, and I played in NPBA, and I was impressed with myself about how well I was doing, and so I was excited to play with them. And then, of course, they picked up Sniper, who was and is still a great lock who plays with Breakout now. But he played 2K18 with Neo Tina and Kiss My Tims on Xbox and PS4, so he was a great lock on both systems, and so they picked up him. And obviously I'm not that well known, so I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna get any more playing time over here, so let me look for another team to kind of branch myself onto and get a chance. So I Seldom Seen posted that they needed a lock for MPBA season 7, I think. And so they picked me up, and coincidentally, I had already met Truth and Robar, so they were on that team. So when I got on that team, I was like, oh, this is a pretty dang talented squad, because I've been seeing Truth and Robar succeeding, and then that's when he started taking off. He was he's been in the comps. He's been on the comp scene for a while, but he started doing really well. And so,
I'm familiar with Seldom, for sure.
Yeah, we went on like a 20-0 run for the first 20 or so games that we played together, and we're like, okay, we're pretty talented. And obviously after that calmed down, after we went into the playoffs and got eliminated, Seldom went to boot camp. So obviously that team had to break up too, because he's the leader of it. He's glued everything together,
Yeah.
So there was only one season left to play, which was season 12 with WR, and I had gotten a decent amount of comp games in, but I was still thirsting for more, because I started late in March, so I was still thirsty for more games, more success.
No question.
And New Lane, we did that. They actually needed a few bench players to fill out the roster. So, seeing New Lane's success earlier that year, I was like, I had to get on that team.
Right.
So
I actually go in a room. You got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. He picked me up. We had a pretty decent regular season. Then we got into the playoffs. We had a couple of huge series wins versus Direwolves and Flight Code. And then this was when 99 dunks in SC was actually a big thing in the comp community. So I actually got benched because DC wanted to run with a bunch of sharps around him, so they couldn't help off at all. Like, it was just 1v1.
Yeah.
If you helped off, he was making the pass, and it was going to be a wide open 3, so you just kind of had to leave that walking island. So
that's how
he does. So
yeah,
sure. Yeah, for sure. He took the sacrifice and said, "Okay, we don't really need a lock. Like, I'm going to score 80 points a game as long as we have 3 sharps up there." So they went with that. They went and beat the Rim Reapers in the finals with Duffcon Quack and Poppy Germ, who I was pretty impressed with how handedly they were beating them, because the Rim Reapers were hot. They were coming off beating Self-Taught and I actually think Showtime or the Bucks before their Self-Taught series. So we ended up winning season 12. You know, we were pretty excited, and so obviously 2K18 was pretty much dead after that. So
Yeah.
you know, I was just looking for anything to do. I actually struck up a really good friendship with A Truth, and we were playing all different kinds of games together: Smite, 2K pickups, team ups, stuff like that. And so when it came to time to put together a team for 2K19, I met Hoodie Dukes through Truth, and so me and Hoodie wanted to play together. So because we played together on Double C as well, and
Nice.
so we wanted to play together. We got on Team Takeover, but that didn't really work out. And Truth and Robar were on Bar None with Dom Ellis, and that didn't work out really either. So after that, we all kind of came together, and me, Hoodie, Truth, Robar, and this guy that Robar and Truth had been playing with for a while was Birds of Feather. So after that, that didn't really work out. So we were kind of like, me, Truth, and Robar still really wanted to play together, but so we needed a point guard and a power forward. And so Chatty Nick comes along and says that he wants to play with us, and of course, like he's someone that's really underrated, but we knew how good he was, so we had to take that chance and pick him up.
There's that word underrated we've been hearing. We've been hearing a lot of that tossed around the community this time of year. So tell me, what would you say shake and bake as you go through the story? Like, what's the difference? It's a story of like, you have early success, obviously, as you come into the comp scene. It sounds like you're having a lot of success. You're getting a lot of opportunity. It seems like you've gotten around the scene quite a bit and met a lot of the different players. So you have a good handle on what would be the difference, I would say, between like a competitive scene and a more casual approach, like ranking up a court or playing rec or what have you, just five getting on to casually play. Like, what's the main difference you would say in your estimation of a comp versus like a casual approach?
I think the main difference on 2K19 is the archetypes. Like, archetypes are everything this year. If you don't have the right set of archetypes out there on the court, then it's just like you're not going to compete, and it's just that, plain and simple. But obviously, adding to that, you have to have the IQ. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have IQ and also chemistry, then your team really isn't going to be that successful. So if you go out there so basically the meta this year that I've seen is 2 locks, 2 ball handlers, and glass cleaner. So if you go out there with like 1 lock, then the one of the ball handlers is just they're just gonna play keep away from you.
Okay.
Like I played recently, I played New Lane against DC and Mr. Hollywood and Turn Up Defense and that team, and I was trying to defend DC, and they just tossed it over to Hollywood and let him work on one of our sharps that we have guarding up top on the wing with me. So they just went away from me, and I had basically no effect because I'm a lockdown defender. So obviously, if I'm not defending ball, then I have really no point of being on the court. So if you go away from me, you take me completely out of the game. So, and if you have a good second ball handler, then you're probably going to win most of your games. So the difference, the most difference between comp and just casual ranking up your court type stuff is definitely the archetypes.
Word. So you're talking about just knowledge of how to take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses, like as a unit, having those builds, having that arsenal at your disposal to kind of shut down whatever's coming at you, and also to take advantage of the weaknesses on the other side. So those comp teams are able to kind of elevate and continue to grow and rank up with wins over less experienced teams that may not understand that type of meta that's going down this year. I would say, in my opinion, I agree with that for sure. My team in particular, we're short 1 lock in your estimation of what we need. We got the glass part, we got the lock part, but we're working on it. We got some good defensive players that play sharp that can do some good work. So, but I understand what you're saying for sure. I've seen a lot of that around the community with the 2 locks. So let's talk about actually what was a better moment. So would you say like winning it with New Lane was the better moment, or winning those early games that you had with your early success in the comp scene, like getting that adrenaline rush? Like, what's the better thrill?
I think the the early the early wins were definitely huge because it got me wanting more. So if I came in and I wasn't having that success that I really wanted, and I was like losing to those top teams, I assume like most people would get discouraged by that and be like, okay, these guys are pretty above our level and everything. But coming in and winning those first couple of games against teams like Throwdown, we were just so excited and we couldn't wait to get more. And obviously, it was pretty late in the 2K18 when we won that finals, and 99 dunk tendency was a huge controversy, and everyone was thinking, like, does this championship really count? So I feel like definitely those early wins versus those big teams with my longtime friends that I've been playing with forever was definitely huge. And I wanted to play more after that.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. It's interesting to me to observe, just as an outsider coming into WR and your community, like the cash element of it, the cash play. So I often see the posts and the box scores and the back and forth and stuff like that. But one thing that's interesting to me that I never see is regarding the winnings. I never see people boasting about that. I never see anything being rubbed in anybody's face about that, which I think is really awesome, number one. And I think it keeps the focus on the games themselves. So it seems like the fire in the community and the underbelly of the community really is that, just that juice to play the game and to be the best competitive player that you can be, and to win in those circumstances against the best players, even more so than it is maybe the call and the allure of the dollar. Would you say that's correct, or am I over exaggerating it?
Yeah, I think you're exactly correct. Everyone just wants to go out and compete against the best talent. Like, of course, everyone wants to make money off of playing the game, but if you're having fun with a team, with teammates that you like, and you're playing the best people that are known, and you're just like competing against the best talent in pro am, like there's nothing that compares to it.
No question. Well, tell me about the other end of it. What's it like to be on a L, like a lopsided L, in like a comp environment? It seems like there's going to be a lot more of a fisheye lens on you. Like, what's that experience like as a player?
So, I I can see that a lot of teams like get down on themselves, and when they want to do better, but they don't they don't know what to do to take that next step. So the main thing that Witness the Grind has basically like almost mastered, but obviously you can't master anything. Like, you can always have room to improve, and that's what we see. Like, even in our terrible losses, like, we go back and as a team we watch film, and this was basically Chatty Nick's idea. Uh, we all got on a Skype call and we watched every one of our games back together, and we just see like what we need to improve on, and we talk together as a team. We're not getting down on ourselves after a bad loss. We're saying, okay, let's go. Let's get into the film session. Let's learn what we're doing wrong, learn what we can do better. And I think that's the key to having great success as a comp team. It's just getting better no matter what you think. If you know that you can get better and you can improve on everything, because you're never the best player. You always want to improve from yesterday. So just watching that film is a huge point to I think take advantage of.
Absolutely. And you can catch his team at Witness the Grind, all one word, just like sounds like it's spelled, of course. Witness the Grind, capital G, capital W, if you want to be accurate, extra accurate. And Shake and Baker can be followed at Shake and Baker __ on Twitter as well. So make sure you do that. Having a great conversation about the comp scene here. So let's pivot a little bit and go specifically into WR Pro Am League. And let's talk about that platform and just how it appeals to you. Tell me a little bit about your experience just in WR. You mentioned obviously the other platforms that you played in and being on the come up a little bit. So tell me about like the last few months and kind of your outlook on WR.
So, like, coming into everything, like, we entered season 10 and we're pretty excited to play comp, but it's a different feeling playing WR than it is playing with other like leagues, because WR goes so in depth and they have like so much statistics on their website, and they take such good care of the community that it's just a different feeling, because you can go onto their website and see like the statistics leaders, and they even have the the RPI. Okay, that's what it is. They even have the WRPI, on their website, which is huge to me, because it's not all about wins and losses. It's about beating those quality teams, and I don't think any other league provides something like that. So just seeing the effort that we all put in over here, and we just want to help the community get better and bigger. So I think WR is just on another level of any other league, because the way they get involved with the community, we just want to help the community grow and have fun, and take advantage of a mode of like pro-am that's it's just so fun to play.
Yeah, addicting for sure. Definitely addicting. It kind of feel I've had this conversation before with people, but it really does kind of put you back into that vortex of being on a team or in high school or in D1 or D2 or wherever you played. Your experience level in basketball kind of puts you back in that locker room, or puts you back in those circumstances. Even through the visual medium of a video game, kind of gives you that same kind of adrenaline rush in the close games. You get those sweaty palms, you get those reactions, those emotional reactions that you get in a real game. So it's definitely, it's obviously not the same thing. It's a virtual realm. It's not real, but you get some kind of the same emotions from it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's a very fun medium for sure. I've long thought that the league construct would be a big thing and the esport would grow. And we're seeing that. We're seeing kind of the baby kind of booming. We're seeing the growth with the 2K League, and it's a really exciting time to be kind of in at the ground level and just to watch that all grow. So let's talk about what the toughest part about playing comp level pro am is. We talked about some of the glory, some of the highlights. I alluded to a little bit the box score thing and being on the wrong end of it. What's the toughest part, in your opinion, of playing comp level ball?
The toughest part is definitely just, so you can really tell the difference from playing like people who are just playing the game casually, and then playing people who are trying to get to that league, trying to get to that next level, because the IQ was just through the roof with a lot of the top teams. Like they'll see what you did in the first half and they'll adjust to it, and you have to come with something different in the second half. It's just, but they know how to adjust, and they just know how to react, and they can read what you're doing so quickly. And it's just some people's IQ that are in this community, like people like PB Ballin, is just, he knows what's coming. He knows what to expect against even teams that he's never played before. So I think the IQ is just, going up against people with high IQ is just, it's tough. It's tough to score each time down the floor.
Yeah, the grind of the whole game and figuring out the adjustments for sure. I definitely understand what you're saying. So let's talk about Witness the Grind a little bit. We'll go in depth about your specific team here, and you can tell the listeners about what to expect from Witness the Grind. You obviously mentioned earlier in the pod you're a lockdown defender. So tell me a bit about your archetype, your approach to your build this season, and then maybe you can go into your teammates and highlight your team a little bit for me.
So obviously, I started off with a sharpshooting defender, thinking it was going to be completely like 2K18, where pure locks really couldn't shoot. They were just kind of a liability on offense, really. But obviously, that's not the case this year at all. Like you'll see pure locks putting up 30 in comm games, and it's just that you got to hit 50 mentality if you're on defense. It doesn't work this year because of the badges that 2K has given the pure locks, the silver corner specialist. You'll see pure locks hitting like 4 or 4 from 3 from the corner, and you really can't adjust to that. You have to adjust to that. You have to actually consider them a threat, and you have to actually shade towards him a little bit instead of just leaving him wide open from the corner and expecting them to miss. If they're a good player, they're gonna hit a lot of their threes on you. So, seeing how much success people were having on the pure locks as opposed to my sharpshooting defender, I was like, to be successful, I really got to make that pure lock build because teams are running with 2 pure locks and hitting 5 threes from the corner each, and there's no reason to have a sharpshooting defender out there because the lockdown defenders can shoot just the same. So I made the switch from the sharpshooting defender to the pure lock, and I've been grinding that build for a little bit, and I'm definitely going to go with that moving forward. And then speaking on my team's archetypes, we actually run 2 small pure sharps at the 1 and 2, which is we believe we started like a meta for the other comp teams because you see some people running that now. We were running that from like the very start because
Interesting.
The on-ball defense is so OP this year, which is just like overpowered. It's so overpowered this year that you basically have to hold L2 even with a playmaker just to protect the ball. So we decided to go with 2 pure sharps so we can be even more deadly from the wing. And so we went with that, and we can just, if a team only has 1 lock, like I spoke on earlier, you can just pass it over to that other pure sharp. So Truth and Chatty Nick are just like very talented ball handlers, and they see the court very well. Their vision is amazing. And then you add a pure glass and Robar, who actually has played point guard before. It's just their IQ is on another level. Like, speaking as one of their teammates, I see how talented they are, and if they don't make the league, it'll be a snub for sure because their IQ is on another level, and even their talent is. You see Robar with the ball up top, and you can just see that he has that point guard IQ. He has that vision for the court, and he sees what's going on. And then Domrep Ellis used to run a rebounding stretch when we first picked him up, but because we thought it would be amazing to have that little extra rebounding to help out Robar with those 2 pure sharps up top. And then we went up against New Lane, and we're like, okay, we got to change this. We can't only have 1 lockdown on the team because teams have 2 ball handlers. So you got to defend both of them. So we've made that switch to 2 pure locks and then 2 pure sharps and a pure glass, which kind of sounds like that 2K17 lineup with that brick wall from the pure glass. But we've gone to that, and we've been pretty successful, and we just hopefully we can bring it home in WR season 13.
Absolutely. And the proof is in the pudding when you talk about the talent on your team, because we saw that article on Dimer, Dimer2K.com. Shout out to them. They put up a big list. Of course, all the lists are coming out around this time of the year, but all 5 of your players represented there. So congratulations on that to you guys. That's bodes well for you, obviously, going into the season. So let me ask you right off the bat, I'll put you on the spot. Do you expect a repeat in terms of yourself winning another ring? Do you expect to win another ring in WR13?
Oh, for sure. I expect nothing less. Our WitnessTheGrind is, I believe we're on another level, and we can compete with those top teams. So I think with everyone's talent combined and with our IQ and our work ethic, I think we have a very good chance of, coming in and winning that championship. And hopefully, like, everyone hopes for all 5 of us to make a league, and we're pushing for the next guy as much as we're pushing for ourselves. So as much as the success in these matchups matter, we're just ready to go on that WR season and just give it our all and hopefully bring home a championship.
Sounds like you got a great chance at it. So tell me, who's the biggest threats? Who are you tiptoeing around and kind of eyeing their streams and like, these guys may be tough down the road?
You can't ignore the success that the Direwolves have had. They're such a tough team to play. They have Ohio is just his IQ is on another level as well. Just, and the way he can maneuver around the court and the vision he has is just it's on another level from any other point guard you can put him up against. So I think the Direwolves are pretty dangerous with they run double lock as well with J Loading and Follow the God. So I think they're a team to look out for sure. And then obviously make it happen with Dayfry and Shump, and they're just so dangerous. And they're coming off of those two guys are coming off of the league and just they're ready for any type of competition. They're ready to.
They're not even worried about it. Like they're ready to go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then adding on to Daryl's and make it happen. Self-taught Gio Trappard Texas is the lock on their team. Is just he's so talented. They're one of the only teams I've seen have success with just one lock on the court. So seeing the success that they've had, beating Breakout, beating Disregarded, beating Direwolves is just it's amazing to see because you can see that expose him and PB ballin and get on my level, and Doug's on that team is just they have so much chemistry together because they've been playing together for so long, and it's obvious. You can see when you see them play is they just have a better feel on the court with each other than a lot of other teams have. So, one last team that you can't ignore is Disregarded. BP is one of the best point guards on the game. He dribbles better than 99% of point guards. So, and then you add their lockdown Eli into the equation, which is Eli never pulled. It's just seeing them compete on night in, night out basis it'll be exciting to see when season 13 starts. So those four teams, and I think us are really the front runners for the championship, I believe.
It sounds like it's going to be an excellent season. We're all looking forward to everything getting underway. It's coming real soon at everybody, so make sure you follow on Twitter at WR Pro Am League for all the latest info. Make sure you follow Rising Stars as well, an affiliate of WR Rising Stars on Twitter. You can check that out for up-and-coming players, some opportunity for you there. And also make sure you check out the news regarding the Team Up League that's coming out for WR. It's going to be really fun. I know personally I'm going to be nipping at Lux to try to hopefully get some commentary reps in there and do some live games because that would be amazing to do. I think it would be really fun to do a team up league game on the commentary and be calling real player names. It would be kind of like the rush of like doing a real game. So that'd be like a dream of mine. I'd love to do that. So check out that if you haven't signed up for it. The team up league coming real soon from WR Pro Am, and also the WR Select that'll be around the circuit real soon. Of course, the draft format extension of WR Pro Am League. So I want to thank my guest, of course, the maiden broadcast here of the WR podcast. And I want to thank Shake and Bake. Of course, once again, you can follow him, Shake and Baker on Twitter, __, all one word. And you can follow his team at WitnessTheGrind on Twitter. And appreciate everybody for listening to the first ever WR Pro Am podcast, the official all access pass to the original Pro Am League. And we appreciate you. Thanks very much for joining us.